all those questions later.
And obviously, and I know that, I mean, I campaign for wildlife all the time, and the thing that people hammer me the most about is eating meat. Now, you're vegetarian, you made that decision because, believe me, in 2009, 2010, when we hung out, you weren't a vegetarian. You're now a vegetarian.
I wasn't a vegetarian till 2018. When we actually came to England, I left eating meat just before the Test series started. And I'd been thinking about it. I'll tell you the real reason. I mean, people use different kinds of reasons and they try and figure out themselves. So in 2018, when we went to South Africa, I got a cervical spine issue while playing a test match.
You got what?
Centurion. A cervical spine issue. One of the discs in my cervical spine, they bulged out and it compressed a nerve which was running straight till the little finger of my right hand. So it gave me a tingling sensation. I could barely feel my little finger on the right hand.
Wow.
I couldn't sleep at night. Yeah, it was hurting like mad. I couldn't sleep at night. And then I got my test done and my stomach was too acidic. So my body was creating too much uric acid. My body was too acidic. So what was happening was, even though I was taking calcium, magnesium, everything, one tablet was not sufficient for my body to function properly. So my stomach started pulling calcium from my bones, and my bones got weaker. And that's why I got this issue. So that's why I stopped eating meat completely in the middle of the England tour to cut down that uric acid and the acidity in my body. And then I've never felt better in my life, to be honest. I felt amazing. It's almost been 2 years now, and it's the best decision I've taken in my life.
Really? It's amazing. I mean, you look amazing. And I've tried that now. So I've seen all this and I watched that film, that Game Changers or whatever, that film. I think you were part of that film. And I have vegetarian days. Jess and I have vegetarian days at home. And you do feel so light. You feel amazing, don't you?
Yeah, amazing. I mean, I've never felt better waking up. I've never felt better when I have to recover after a game. I mean, if you make me play 3 games a week, which are intense, I'm at it 120% every game. I can recover within a day after a test match and go on another test match. It's so much better than being on meat. Being vegetarian now made me feel, honestly, I felt like, why didn't I do it before? I should have done it 2-3 years earlier, to be honest. It's completely changed everything. You start feeling better, you start thinking better, your body's lighter, you're more positive, you have more energy to do more. So yes, overall it's just been an amazing, amazing change. Are you guys doing it as well?
Thank goodness I don't have to play 3 games a week, because there's no way in this world a South African can go without meat, dude. I do it for maybe one day or 2 days a week. If I'm feeling really generous, I'll give it 2 days. But there's no ways, I just can't do it. I mean, I got a beautiful barbecue out here. As much as I would love to, as much as you're trying to sell a great story, it just, and the dude feel great. And that movie, mate, that Game Changers film that I watched, it really does paint a really good picture. But I just couldn't do it, mate. Couldn't do it. No way.
Yeah,
but you talk about that ability to be able to turn on every single day. I was running on a treadmill in I don't know where it was, and MS came and jumped on the treadmill next to me. And first of all, to see MS in the gym at that stage, I was like, oh, Jesus, what are you doing in here? And we started talking about you and started talking about your leadership. It was at the time that he was just starting to finish in that. And he said one of the things that he said that would interest him would be whether or not you would be able to maintain that energy on the field, that excitement on the field, that aggressive leadership on the field. And I said to him, I said, Jesus, I said, surely you cannot love cricket that much that you want to just start swinging punches every time you walk out onto the field. and you've done it. Why is it because of your diet, or is it because of what's in between your ears? Not that there's much there. What is it?
Yeah, there's a bit of crazy up here as well. I wouldn't deny it.
I know.
But look, as I said, I mean, I know, and you can ask MS that as well. When I played under MS, I was in his ears every over. Maybe we can do this, maybe we can do that. If there was a time where you had to field on the boundary, I would run from long on to long on. I wanted to be in the right place at the right time. Even now, even if I'm captain or not, I don't think standing on the field I need to behave myself because I'm captain. I need to be able to enjoy the game first and think about strategy and all that later, because that is who I am. So I cannot play any other way. I will give 120% every ball. And I made a promise to myself, the day I stop feeling like I can do it, I'll stop playing. I want to be able to play till the time I play the way I play right now. With the same intensity.
So we're going to have to keep talking over the next few years about how you want us to jump in a UFC ring every time you hop on a cricket field.
I just like to get it going.
I was going to swear a little bit, but I'll stop.
That's what my teammates and bowlers say as well. They say, you celebrate more than us when we take a wicket. I said, I can't control myself.
It's a good thing.
It's a good thing, yeah.
I spoke to Rohit last week. Last week, and we were talking about sledging, and we were talking about aggression on the field, and he said, well, we do have a fairly aggressive leader. And I just started pissing myself. I was like, oh, yes, just a very...
That helps. Yeah, that surely helps. That surely helps. Anyone who's feeling a bit, whether I should say something or not, they just need to look at me and say, no problems, go for it.
But clearly you love the dudes off the field, and you just get into that. It's called white line fever, isn't it? Where you get over that white line, and I know there's millions of people who are going to watch this and are seeing this. You just have the white line fever where you will just do anything within the rules to win the game for India. It's simple.
Yep, absolutely. And it's, look, I've known you for a lot of years now. And, people say, I've experienced something very strongly. When people don't know you, they have a very, very different picture of you that they paint in their heads. And I have no problems in people thinking that the person might be like this. But when you don't know the person, when you haven't interacted with the person, for someone to say that the guy is like that, I don't agree with that. Because you can't create a reality for someone else in your own head and then treat them accordingly. I never do that. I would meet people. I would get to know you, even though I see your body language on the field and I feel like, oh, that doesn't seem really nice. But if you meet me outside the field and we got along, I got along with Pouch. There were different views about Pouch as well. I got along with him amazingly well, with you as well. So it's about accepting people the way they are, and I think that's important. You step off the field and you accept people as just human beings. When your competitive spirit comes out, there's no problem in being competitive, being aggressive. You've had duels on the field. It never gets to physically punching someone in the face. I mean, it would never get to that. It's basically just maybe with you it could have a few times, but not with me. Not with me. I'm too small. I can't take on the big guys physically. That helps.
Does the IPL and the friendships that you've created in the IPL make it a little bit more difficult to, when you're playing against Australia, to give a volley to a teammate in another opposition, or does it not matter? When you're playing for India, you're playing for India, and I don't care if you play for RCB, with me, without me, whatever it is, I'm going to beat you, and that's it.
Look, IPL has definitely made things much better when it comes to respecting people, especially when you get to know someone. You don't feel internally. I mean, I played against AB. Never in my dreams will I think of sledging AB. It just won't come to me naturally.
Yeah.
I would just say, okay, if an opportunity comes to me, I'm trying to take that opportunity with both my hands any day of the week. I want to get him out, but I won't get into his face in a way that it can spoil our friendship, our relationship. Because you understand at the end of the day, those things last you longer in life. So whoever you get to know, obviously, it's a mutual respect. Both ways, the line is not crossed. But otherwise, we're always looking for something spicy to get into the zone eventually, because you want to be at your best. And if that's what gets you, why not?
What's been your most fun innings? I'm not going to ask you what's been your best innings. What's been your most fun innings? Because I actually got asked this in an interview a couple of months ago. I was doing something and I said, what's been your most fun innings? And I was like, shit, I've never been asked this before. It's always, what's your best innings? What had the most impact? What's been the most fun? The one where you just got, that was so much fun. It's just like, Jesus, I just got there and I just went bang, 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 bang. Do you have any?
Yeah,
It's a tough question, isn't it?
Yeah, I do have one. It was against Kings 11 in the IPL. It was, I think, a 14 over game or 15 over game, and I got 112 overs.
I remember.
And yeah, so that was one of the days where I felt like, geez, I'm just connecting everything, and you just felt like you couldn't get out. And I've never felt like that before. Just to be able to hit every ball and not have that fear of getting out, it was amazing. So that has been my most fun innings. What about you?
And talking, mate, it was such a long time ago. Huh?
Do you remember?
No,
I'm sure you don't remember any of your innings after I got you out. Stop it.
I was going to talk about your bowling there, but the one before I get to your beautiful length that you used to bowl and that very 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 traditional action.
Excellent.
What you talk about fear, and there'll be a lot of youngsters watching this, and people say, "Oh, play without fear. Don't worry about the consequences." For youngsters watching this, in your position, walking out to bat. Now you're lucky. You've made it in the game. You're the best that's playing at the moment. Your numbers are fantastic. At the start of your career, or in the middle of your career, even now, what's been the lowest you've been? What's the lowest you've been in your career?
I think the lowest point in my career was England tour in 2014, where that's one phase where I felt like, when as a batsman, you're going to get out in the morning when you wake up. That was the time I felt like that there's no chance I'm getting runs.
Really?
And yeah, to be able and still to get out of bed and just get dressed for the game and to go out there to go through that knowing that you will fail was something that just ate me up. It just demolished me completely. And I promised myself I'm never going to allow myself to feel like that ever again in life. But that was the lowest point and that happened for all the younger guys listening to think right in the game. That happened because I was too focused on doing well from a personal point of view. I wanted to get run. I could never think of what does the team want me to do in this situation. I just got too engulfed with England tour. If I perform here, Test cricket, in my mind, I'm going to feel established and all that crap on the outside, which was not important at all. It just ate me up. I just kept going into a downward spiral, and I just couldn't get out of it. Horrible.